time. We got a box here from Concept2. So let's see what we got. I love opening boxes, especially when it's nice enough outside. And there's a cat. Okay, kitty, off you go. Always have a cat help you when you right. Okay, see what we got. And we've got Oarlocks and bushings. Yay. New clean Oarlocks. I did a video last week on Oarlock stern pitch, adjusting stern pitch with Concept2s, and they saw it, they liked it, and they sent me some of their new bushings, which I think, from what I can tell already, is going to be a nice improvement from their old ones. These, strong plastic, these, well, you know what? They sent them, and they don't fit. Well, how about that? They sent the bushings. They sent the right bushings. Now see, these are different here. I don't know if you can always go back to the video from last time, but you'll see the numbers here. They're nice and big, and this is blue. The other one was black. So in the old video, I showed them, and they had very small numbers. And these are larger, and they have nice little arrows on them, and I take it that's pointing to the stern. And I would assume that they will fit in here, just like on the old ones, but I don't know. So we'll find out. So what I'm going to do is I will give them a call and say, hey, either I don't understand this, or could you send me some of the new Oarlocks to go with these new bushings? And just real quick before I do that, I like them because they have those numbers. Well, they all seem to say 4 here, and they all say 4. So let's see if we can find something else there. So, Kitty, what do you say about that? Anything? How about you? You got anything to say? No, they don't have anything to say. They're not big fans of rowing. I bet they would be fans of rowing if, I bet they'd be bigger fans of rowing if they knew every time that they finished a piece they could get a fish. They like fish. But, all right, I'll follow up. Okay, coming back at you. So let's talk about customer service here a little bit. So I had a question on this, as we just discussed. So I called up Concept2, and I have to say their customer service, and this video is not promoted by them or sponsored by them in any way. I have to say their customer service is spot on. They're not only they're helpful and friendly, but they're really empathetic, and I think that's one of the things that's missing so often in our sport. In terms of customer service, is the empathy that goes with people that are really confused and struggling and maybe under pressure because of a race coming up, or they spend a lot of money and they can't get it. So I would say this, if you have a question about Concept2 stuff like this here or anything else, call their 800 number in the States. I'm not sure what the number is if you're outside of the States. But I have found every time I've called them, I probably think I've called them, I don't know if they keep a record in terms of the number of times people have called them, but I'm sure I've called them 100 times over the last 40 years, or how long they've had their customer service number. They're great, and I've always walked away feeling like, yeah, I got an answer to my question, or at least been pointed in the right direction. So they're super. So let's talk about these now. All right, so these are called the universal bushings, and they replace the ones that we did, that I talked about in the last video. And what's cool about these, you'll see the number 4, 4, and we have a 3 and a 5. With the other bushings, you could get an adjustment with your stern pitch with your oarlock from a 7 down to a 1 degree. And I think what they found, or they expressed to me what they found, and I would agree with them, that those numbers of a 1 and a 2 and a 7 and a 6 probably aren't used all that often. Most people that I know now rig their pins at 0. So if this is the pin, they have 0 degree stern pitch, and then they have probably 3, 4, or 5 in with the bushings if they're using Concept2 with their bushings and just going through that pitch range. So they don't have that same big old pitch range. And to tell you the truth, working with a bunch of boats over the years, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody with like 7 degrees purposely, mistakenly, yes. I've seen on the lower end, I've seen 2, and I kind of subscribe to the theory that the closer you get to 1,000,000 strokes as a rower, the less stern pitch you need. The more comfortable you are with the control of your oar, and the easier it is for you to keep the oar in the water. The less experienced you are, more stern pitch. So you're keeping the blade as it goes through the water. It tends to be able to come out easier at the release. So I think they made a good call on that. So now, having talked to them, this is my understanding, and I think it's pretty good. These are nice. They fit really tight. You can see the edges here. They slide in, and I've tried a whole bunch of them, and all of them slid in well easily. It's really well made stuff. So when you look here, like we're looking down at the top here, you'll see here's the gate. You see the number 4 with the arrows pointed towards the gate. So they're pointed that way, towards the stern, if this is the mid-drive, towards the gate. And when the one on the bottom is the same, so the 4 is pointed in the same direction, again, towards the stern. When this slides on a pin that's 0, when the pin has 0 degrees stern pitch, then we would have 4 degrees in the oarlock. Somebody might say, well, my oar has pitch in it. Well, that's a different video, that's a different conversation. But let's assume right this second that your oar is set for 0 degrees pitch. So you pop this on in this setup on a 0 degree pin with a 0 degree oar, you'll have 4 degrees at the mid-drive. That's at the mid-drive. Doesn't mean it will always be the same at the catch and the release. That depends on your lateral pitch. Conversation for later. But right now, if you have a 0 degree pin and pop this on as we've got it set up here, push these down a little bit. I don't want to push them down yet because they're a little bit snug and I'm going to have to fiddle with it. So it would be 4 degrees. Now if I want a variation of that, if I want to, let's say I want 5 degrees, what I do here is you'll see the 5, pop this out, and put the 5 towards the gate. Okay, so the 5's this way. And down here, I have the 5 towards the bow. Okay, this will increase the stern pitch a degree. Okay, so it increases the stern pitch a degree. Now, if I want to back it down a little bit, if I want 3, I put the 3 there. Okay, and then in this case, because just the way I've got this set up, if I have the 3 also in the opposite direction, so I have the 3 going towards the bow, the 3 on top going towards the stern, that has reduced my pitch a little bit, my stern pitch, and so now I have 3 degrees. Does that make sense? I'll write something up. They do have something on the Concept2 website, and it not only includes these bushings, the universal bushings, but also their older bushings. So I'll include something on the website, but I think it's pretty straightforward once you get to play with it. And I think they're great. You know, I don't know if I would, if you're happy with your bushings as they are now, I don't necessarily think you should go replace them all. I don't think there's any advantage, mechanical advantage over this, over the regular bushings, because the inside is still the same. It fits in the same Oarlock. I don't think there's any sort of speed, mechanical advantage to that. However, I would say that if you want to, or if you got a new boat coming in or new Oarlocks and you have these, it's pretty easy to understand. And they go in and come out just the same as the other ones. I hope that helps. Interesting, interesting, interesting. And I'll see you guys later. Row fast.